All right, and we're live. All right, well, welcome to the online premiere of my song Winter's King. And yeah, I'm really excited to premiere it for you tonight. And yeah, so but before we begin, I do want to talk a little bit about the song and what it's about. And yeah, but I'm super excited, a little bit nervous, but but that's normal. But I actually tried this song out at a recent gig of mine, and it went over pretty well. So so I really, like I said, I've been working on this song for quite some time. And just the entire album, my album that's based off of Wars of the Roses. But yeah, how was your weekend? I had a gig with the music group Wayward Companions, and it went really well. We performed at the Salzburg Presbyterian Church in Salzburg, Pennsylvania, and and it went, like I said, it was a very fun gig. A little bit more subdued than what we normally do, because we do a lot of like tavern music, and this one was, since it was like in a church, and the church is bicentennial, so it's like a 200-year-old church. I actually sang a couple of hymns. I sang Amazing Grace and Be Thou My Vision. And I also sang Hard Times Come Again No More, since that was from the era that, we were performing from largely, which is the 19th century. But it was a lot of fun, and it was just an all-around fun weekend. And yeah, how was your weekend? I'd love to hear about how everything went for you this weekend. So, but also, in honor of the song this evening, I kind of have like a dark candlelit room here, and this is the candle Book of Kells by Mythology Candles, and I decided to burn this one this time because it does kind of have this really nice old world libraries. It has kind of a leathery smell to it, but it's really good. And like I said, it really has this really nice old world charm to it. And yeah, that's the Book of Kells candle. And I am an affiliate from Mythology Candles, so I will have my affiliate link in the replay of this live stream. And so I will be showing you that. And so if you want to get the Book of Kells candle or any other candle, and I do get kickback from it, but any money I receive, whether it's from music sales, book sales, candle sales, whatever, it does go back into the music and projects and everything that I do. So yeah, but that's the candle that I've decided to burn for this live stream. And so a little bit about the song. So the song was actually, and I'm sorry if you're coming into the chat and I can't see you. I have the camera a little bit further away than normal. So if you come in and I can't see you, but hey, welcome to those coming in. If I don't mention you by name, I apologize. But like I said, I am holding I have the camera. Hey, I do have the camera a little bit further away than normal, so like I said, if I don't mention you by name, then I apologize, but I do appreciate you being here. But a little bit about the song before I begin. So Winter's King, it is going to be a song on my new album, my forthcoming album that I have been working on, and it is a song about Henry VII. Now, the new album I'm working on is based off of the very infamous Wars of the Roses, and I decided to write an album inspired by that, just because it was such a very interesting and very pivotal time in human history. And I don't know about you, but to me, it just seems like after the death of Richard III and the Battle of Bosworth, it just feels like the entire English monarchy, it's like it has a completely different vibe to it. It was like, you know, Richard III and earlier, it had one vibe. So, but then Henry VII, it was kind of like this kind of in limbo vibe. And then from like maybe Henry VIII on, it just takes on this completely different vibe. But yeah, but I don't know about you if you feel that way, but I don't know. That's just an observation that I've made in, you know, in studying the Wars of the Roses and the monarchs that, you know, since like William the Conqueror and, you know, going all the way into like Henry VIII and beyond. Like I said, it's almost like it's two completely different worlds. I mean, because it kind of was, but yeah, to me, Henry VII, who, if you're not familiar with Henry VII, you might be familiar, or at least vaguely familiar, with his very infamous son, who I just mentioned, King Henry VIII. And Henry VII was the monarch after the death of Richard III. He was crowned king. So basically, in short, the Wars of the Roses was a battle between the Lancastrians and the Yorks. The Yorks had overtaken the throne for a while with Edward IV. And then, you know, the whole Plantagenet dynasty then ended with Richard III. And so the Lancastrians' choice, Henry Tudor, was then crowned King Henry VII. Now, I'm a Ricardian, so I make no secret about that. However, I do find Henry VII to be a very interesting and even very sympathetic person. He was, like I said, when I read about him or watch a documentary on him and his rule, it almost seems like it was like this, like almost like this limbo, like this kind of bridge from like the old ways, the old monarch, into what would be like the newer era. And he has been referred to over the years as the Winter King, because many feel that his rule in England was kind of like a winter for England, because I have heard people refer to Edward IV as the Summer King, which kind of makes sense. And then I don't know if that would make Richard III the Autumn King. I've never heard anybody refer to him as that. But in a way, it was like, when you look at, you know, the rules from Edward IV, and then Richard III, and then Henry VII, and then going into Henry VIII, because they did refer to Henry VIII when he and Catherine of Aragon were first crowned king and queen as, oh, spring has come to England. In other words, we've gone out of our winter with the previous monarch, and now we're in our spring. So, and like I said, they have referred to Edward IV. I have heard people refer to him as the Summer King. But when you match up the seasons with each person's rule, and like I said, even though I've never heard anyone call Richard III the Autumn King, it really, like, it matches. So, and even if you watch the show The White Queen, even though it is historical fiction, everything, like even the way it's depicted during Edward IV's rule, everything is kind of golden and light, so depicting summer. And then when we go into Richard III, it's kind of shadowy, almost, you know, just kind of like autumn shadows are coming in, and, you know, symbolic of autumn. And then finally, after the Battle of Bosworth, everything just looks kind of like gray and barren, almost like winter, as if, everything is just beneath the soil and ready to have a dawn of a new era, pretty much. So, but the thing about Henry VII was that because of how he came to be, because of how he was crowned, many felt that his rule was very shaky and he had a very hard time trusting people. And there are some contemporary accounts that, yeah, hey, thanks for joining. There are some contemporary accounts of some people just like kind of, just saying about how he just locked himself away, especially in the later part of his life, and how he did quote his fear that the fate of Richard III would actually happen to him. So so he did come to the throne in kind of a very, like I said, in a very kind of a weird time in history. And he also, like, he didn't quite have everybody's backing, which is why he had to marry Elizabeth of York, who was Edward IV's daughter. So him marrying Elizabeth of York, allowed him to be accepted by, possibly be accepted by those who were still loyal to the York side. So he hoped to bring the two sides together. But as it sometimes happens, actually as it often happens, that it didn't quite go as planned, because there were still people who were very loyal to the York side, and there were uprisings, and, so he spent a lot of his kingship in kind of just, like I said, he didn't trust very many people. He didn't allow very many people into his circle, and and he spent a lot of time just alone and locked up, especially in the latter part of his years. And what inspired this song was me kind of just pondering on what could his inner thoughts have possibly been, especially after the death of Elizabeth of York, his wife, and who it is said that he did love her very much. So I'm sure he was definitely in mourning, but he was also, he feared with her death that he would be a lot more vulnerable. And to me, like, when I started to write the lyrics to these songs, it was like, okay, like, what might his inner thoughts have been in his inner world, and try to capture that. And of course, nobody knows his inner thoughts. There's no way we can possibly know Henry VII's inner thoughts. I mean, the only person who really knows Henry VII's inner thoughts is Henry VII. Even those closest to him probably didn't even truly know what his inner thoughts were, because, people lie all the time about how they're doing. They say they're doing okay when really they're not. So, and so I know, like, the last thing, especially if you were a monarch, any monarch, the last thing you wanted to be seen as weak. And he also had a lot of health issues. He was, he had a lot of ailments, even in his younger years. So he was very, he was very guarded. A lot of, he wanted to be seen as a good king, but at the same time, he was also very paranoid. And I do think a lot of his paranoia then went into his son, Henry VII, which that's a whole nother discussion. But this song is me speculating. It's just kind of like speculation on what his inner thoughts could have possibly been. And, like I said, I do find him a very, interesting person to study, just because of how he came to be king. And then, just the whole entire vibe of his entire kingship. And the way this song came about as I was writing it, so basically I had the idea to write this, and I knew I wanted to call the song Winter's King, or the Winter King, or, something, with like that nickname that he was given. And one night, the way I came across the melody is just one night I was just kind of tinkering on the keyboard, and then just practicing it. And, you know, and then it just started to sound like something. And so I, you know, quickly hit record on my phone as I, you know, just continue to kind of go with what I was going with. And then later on, I just started to write the lyrics. Now, this song has had 2 different sets of lyrics. So, so I wrote the first set of lyrics, and I actually almost did premiere the song. So, but I think something happened, and I had to like push the premiere back. But it's a good thing too, because when I was just one day, I just decided to take it out and play it. And I actually didn't like the way the lyrics sounded. I just thought they sounded too generic. I didn't think it didn't capture what I wanted to capture of the song. And so I just completely rewrote the lyrics. And these are the new lyrics. And, you know, and the thing about songs is that, especially when you're in the writing process and you're in the recording process, they're always changing. And you know, because you're always going to find something like, ooh, like I could fix this, or, you know, this word sounds a little bit better than this one. And that can go all the way into the recording process. And, you know, and sometimes it's still going on as you're recording and you're doing the finished product. Sometimes there could still be little changes. So there might still be some little changes here and there as we move forward with recording and just getting the entire song and just adding the different instruments in. But this is the song as it is now. And but I don't really foresee too much changes being made to it. If anything, maybe like a word or, you know, like a line or something might be altered a bit. But yeah, but that's why I am sharing the whole writing process. And yeah, so I can't wait to show you more, especially as I write more songs. And yeah, I appreciate you guys coming in. Like I said, if I don't call you by name, or, you know, like I said, I do see you guys and I do appreciate you being here. But I do have like the phone a little bit further back just so that you can kind of, you know, just get this whole picture here. But all right, but that is a little bit on Winter's King. And without further ado, here is the song. All right, so Winter's King. My chamber dark, flame from a candle, my only light. Seep through the walls of the dark winds of night. Darkness, my world, my love's life lost. The ghost of her fills me, my body's weak. Eyesight fails me, will death now take me? Shadows weave through the walls, taking shape of the York King's fall. His presence here in the dark, eyes burn with vengeance, his glare sears my pain. White rose petals fall as white roses bloom. Long live the red rose. White roses fallen, dead and broken. All I worked for hangs in the balance. My kingship frail, will I prevail? Will they remember Winter's King? World around I sing to princes locked away, and my own prince saved from the world. The battle so long ago still assaults me, and was my queen truly loyal to me? Have I always been alone, always alone? Did even dear mother do right by me? Lone I sit, my chamber dark, flame from the candle begins to die. Through walls seep goes from past afar. Black night consumes me, no love's ever had me. Sad memory fills my every thought. The lost king, will his fate find me? White roses fallen dead and broken. All I worked for hangs in the balance. Did they use me or truly love me? Never a lost king will I be. They shall remember winter's king. All choice is gone. Love me or fear me, forever remember winter's king. Madness may take me by break of day. But still thou remember winter's king. Long live the red rose. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. And that was Winter's King. I really hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, I look forward to playing it more often, and yeah, introducing some new songs as they are played. And I also look forward to the full production of this song too, as well as all the others. So yeah, so thank you so much. Yeah, thank you. All right. So yeah, I hate to cut this short, but I am super tired from this weekend. And but I still wanted to do this live stream for you, but yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. And I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you to all that came, and yeah, I will see you next time. I am going to relax for the rest of the evening now. All right, guys, bye. All right, take care.